Okay, good afternoon. My name is Abhay. So I'm going to talk about secure data handling using privacy enhancing technologies. I think we have talked in the morning also, Sharad had talked about the different types of data. So I think I will not talk about all types. I think we are here to, I'm going to talk more about personal and sensitive data because that is where these technologies, the technologies I'm going to talk about, they play a role in enabling us to deal with this sensitive data. This data is very useful as we've seen health, financial, agriculture, everywhere it plays a role, and it has a lot of insights locked into it, and we need to address how do we handle this data, because I think as we know, especially with sensitive and personal data, there are a lot of legal and policy issues. There is DPDP Act, there is GDPR, which also have stringent rules now to ensure there is no mishandling of this data, because the risk with such data of misusing, mishandling is a lot. Therefore, I think there's a lot of caution that is exercised while handling with this. So what I'm going to talk about, or what I'm going to show, a few technologies that enable us to handle this data, and these are really crucial in ensuring that we innovate with this data. Till now, what happens is this data is not shared with us. It's crucial. Even I'm scared of putting it on an exchange. I don't know what happens if there's a breach. Therefore, such technologies, PETs, are crucial in ensuring that we innovate with this while enabling the protection of such data and enabling compliance with the legal requirements, right? So the technologies that we are talking about is differential privacy, SMPC, homomorphic encryptions, secure compute, federated learning. There are many actually. So first thing I think that I would like to do is to actually talk about where do these technologies fit in. How do we see them relative to each other? Because there are so many of them. If you have to develop certain use cases, certain applications with that, how do you go about it, right? Like which ones? Do you use a combination of it? Will one of the technologies fit in? Therefore, to see this, what we've done is, let's look at the data. Let's look at the data journey. Supposing we want to use it right from the raw form to the insights, right? It travels, and it exists in many states, right? And for example, data at rest, data in transit, data in use, data post-use. These are the 4 states that we generally like to see it in. At rest and in transit, I think well understood. As Shashi said, it's not fully protected, but at least we understand the best practices, we understand the maturity of the technology. Data in use and data post-use are some kind of, are the new frontiers in some sense. Data in use means that supposing I had encrypted data, I did a HTTPS, got it in encrypted form. Now, before I start to process, right, I want to learn with that, I will be decrypting it and using it. If an attack happens at that point, what happens then? Because it's a reality now, more and more data is being pushed to cloud, you got to ensure that data in use, data at use is also protected, right? There are a lot of technologies for that. So secure enclaves is one, confidential, it's also called confidential compute. Then secure MPC is another technology that is very interesting. Actually, again, secure MPC and homomorphic encryptions are a way to see the computations happening in encrypted domain. The data, the computer which is going to work on your data actually only sees an encrypted form of it, right? So it's a very interesting way, because even if I have a full view of the data, I cannot make a sense of it because that is encrypted, right? Similarly, FedML, although we talk about FedML only in learning sense, FedML is also another way of protecting privacy or securing your data, because your data never leaves the premises. You try to generate model weights, and then you share the model weights, and then you iterate over it, but the raw data never leaves, right? So these are some of the technologies for data in use. We also call it input privacy, right? Now, supposing you did that, you did it in some way with using these technologies, you processed it, and then you have shared your insights. Now your insights are out in public. It's in a dashboard. Supposing you aggregated some data, you derived certain statistics, and you made it available. Is it safe now? Can we think that that is safe? It is still not safe. There has been numerous occasions where there have been privacy breaches based on the data that was released, supposedly anonymized data, right? So again, what we have to understand is there is no anonymization, which is a complete anonymization. You have to assume in your design that there will be leakage, right? And you have to take care of that. So how do we protect? How do we ensure that the privacy breach risks, once you have released some insights, that falls in this data post-use, protection of data post-use. And in this space, we talk about differential privacy, k-anonymization, or synthetic data releases. Again, noisy synthetic data releases, okay? So essentially, whatever platform we think about, we need to think about a platform like to protect, which should have enough protections for all these 4 states of data, right? Then I think, okay, so I'm just going to talk quickly about a platform called P3DX, Privacy Preserving Processing and Data Exchange. That is a platform that we are working on at CDPG. And essentially, it incorporates the principles that I've mentioned above. There is a data providers, underlying data providers. This could be, say, hospitals, diagnostic centers. And then there are data consumers on top. And in between, we put in this middleware platform, right? And it houses a lot of these technologies that I talked about. So the important point here is that this platform will ensure that the raw data is never exposed to the consumers, even to the facilitating parties. Supposing I am hosting this exchange, even I will not get a view of this raw data. So that is something that we ensure with this, right? Data protection is provided at rest, in transit, and also during processing. Output privacy safeguards, as I said, if you want to release your data set under differential privacy or under k-anonymity, you can do it using this. There should be enough, these technologies should be a part of the data release process, right? And of course, we want to this should sit along with our current exchange principles, which is based on, so there should be, the data should always be shared under proper authorizations and access control policies. So supposing you have this kind of a platform, just want to give you a sense of what kind of a use cases that are there, right? So for example, one of the use cases, secure and private model learning. So for example, you have data coming in from multiple sources. This data could be sensitive in nature. Not only that, this data can come from even competitors. Maybe Airtel, Vodafone would want to actually work together, collaborate data, and learn some better model, right? Similarly, maybe Ola, Uber, or other cab aggregators may want to use this. So, and then they use this data to learn something with a guarantee that this data will never be revealed to each other, right? So it's a good way of collaborative to ensure that collaborative learning is possible. And then, of course, you can share the model with whoever is interested in it, whoever is authorized to use it. Another thing it can do is secure inferencing, where one party brings data, one party brings in a model, right? So for example, yeah, maybe Google has very good model with which they do some inferencing and generate some very good sites, and I have got the data. Now I don't want to share my data with them. Similarly, of course, Google doesn't want to hand over their model to us. So what we do is, this provides a way to do that, where these things happen in a secure environment, for example, using either SMPC, or it can happen within a trusted execution environment, and actually we are able to derive an insights. Some of the use cases that we are looking for, and I think these look quite interesting in general. So first use case is, again, collaborative learning. I've already mentioned. So for example, there are these small diagnostic centers, right? They have a lot of data. They can pull in data. They can share the data with each other and learn a very good, much more robust model. Each center, each diagnostic center or hospital may not have a lot of data to learn a very robust model, but this way, this allows you to pull in resources and then come up with a disease classification model, right? And the learning can happen within a secure enclave, or again enabled by secure MPC, and in future maybe through SHE, FHE, so that the data in some sense is never out in open, never revealed. So I think it takes care of some of the regulatory concerns also, and definitely privacy is also protected here, right? Farm loan computation, like when for a farmer you want to give a loan, you may take many inputs. Actually, currently not a lot of sources are included, but more and more robust algorithms want more and more data, right? Local level data, micro data from the village about the farmer, right? To be able to actually incorporate all that information, you may have to bring in multiple, again, private players who may have this data, and they don't want to share that data with each other. They are okay to share it even for monetization purpose towards this purpose, and for this purpose only, right? But they don't want, like, once it is out, then it is out in the open. How do you protect it? So this again gives a very good way to do that, right? Some more interesting ones, I think there's a benchmark computation, which is also very interesting. Say multiple entities really want to actually find out how they're comparing for a given benchmark with each other, right? So this is a good way. Everybody contributes some information, and they are able to compute the benchmark without really knowing others' information, right? It's, and in that sense, I think this can be very well used. Say, for example, again, different hospitals can compare, like, okay, how do as a hospital or as a small clinic, how do I compare with my competition in terms of, say, the money spent per discharge, right? Something like that, without really getting that information from them. We all converge to that, and all this computation happens within a confidential computing framework, or through a SMPC framework, right? There is secure allegation escrow, right? Like, for example, I want to complain. So in an enterprise, for example, there is everybody wants to report some issue, but you don't want to say it was reported through me until maybe there is 10 people who are ready to come out, right? 10 people are complaining towards some person, right? So then this matching can happen again in a very secure fashion. Only when the matching happens, then the complaint is revealed. So again, this is something that can be, probably this idea is also, people are extending it to online voting too. Then double auctions, right? Of late, there has been a lot of small auctions, like, so we do auctions. So for example, you have a solar grid, you want to put your thing into the grid, and you want to protect that information, because the moment some electric companies find out how much I am putting in the grid, they may come after me, or for some reason or the other, right? So this is again picked up quite a bit. It is actually in some outside some European countries, this is a good use case now. Yes. So actually, the last one I want to just quickly show that, okay, I've given some very good use cases and examples, but how ready we are in terms of tech stack, like what is the situation right now? And this is a bit of an opinion slide, but based on literature study. So basically, what we've seen is that TEE, DP, and FL is federated learning. I think in terms of, there are two axes, so overheads from high to low, so that side is good. Similarly, maturity from low to high, so again, top is good. So I think all those three, federated learning, TEE, and DP, I think they are in good state. I think we can plan on things with that. DP-SGD, where we learn models by adding noise, I think it is still getting there. It's fairly mature though. I think maybe some performance improvements. SMPC is catching up again, but it is somewhere in the middle thing. I really think that it is catching up in niche areas, but I think even for inferencing and learning, it will come up. In a couple of years, we'll see a lot of action here. And I think SHE, FHE is a very good, actually very good theoretical technology. It provides the strongest guarantees. The fact that I've put the bubble here itself means that it is now it is now seeing a lot of traction, although I feel that for some scalable applications, it is still 3 to 4 years before we see it, right? So again, we are ready, I think, in terms of tech stack. I think we can think of a platform like P3DX with some of these technologies. And I wanted to show a demo, but I think I'm out of time, so I'll just stop here. Yeah, thank you very much.